Hi guys, we are back again with Miss
Octavia.
Miss Octavia. I'm Malini here, MVB Life Empowerment Sessions. So our next topic, we're going to be talking about relationships. How important are relationships to you?
I think relationships is very important. I think it comes with giving and taking, right? So
Right.
there's a lot of components that go along with it.
A lot of giving and a lot of taking. So is it fair to say relationships tend to fail if one is short-sighted? Let's say you give and give and give,
Yeah,
and other takes.
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
It is. It depends on the person too, right? I believe it should be a balance within a
Okay.
relationship. And we could talk a little bit more about it. Because
Yeah.
there's different type of relationships as well, right?
Break it down for me.
Okay, no problem. So there's romantic, right? There's
Right.
friendship, there's
Right.
family, there's acquaintance, there's colleagues, right? There's a
Right.
whole bunch of
It's a
it.
whole slew. Yeah.
So I think in general, I would say there's like three components, right?
Right.
Being caring, seeing if you're compatible, right? And compromising, right? Those are the three
Caring,
things.
compatible, and compromising. So, what would you do if you meet a person that has two of those? Maybe they're caring, they're compatible with you, but they don't know how to compromise. Is that a deal breaker?
I mean, yeah, and I mean, for me, I would be like, oh, I would be praying to God, like, God, please, like, can the other
Do
person
something.
display, yeah, or give me
Yeah.
any signs to override the other part of that, right? Because not everybody's gonna
Right.
have all three of them, but they might show it in different
In a
ways.
different way. And I love what you're saying that like you would consult God. Remember, we're coming back from a faith-based perspective, because we're human beings. We have feelings, we have emotions. We're going to flip in different ways, and you're
Yes.
going to meet another person. They also have their own personality, their own character, and behavioral attributes, right? So it takes the grace of God to help you to understand other people,
Yeah.
because left to your own self, you'll be like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So if you get a friend, or if you're picking friends, what components are you looking for when you're picking friends? Because not everybody can be your friend.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's good to have the distinction of like different type of friends. Like for me, I have my girls that I have that we've been friends for a little while, and we also
Yeah.
do Bible stuff together. I feel like that's a
Right.
big component of having God in the midst of your
In the
friendship.
midst, yeah.
Yeah, because then you see certain different, right?
Right, right.
Whereas
Yeah.
people at your job, you're just like a 9 to 5. You just
Yeah,
talk to them.
acquaintances.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
passing.
Yeah. So you just talk to
Yeah,
them, and you
that's
know that you
true.
can't go a little bit too far because you don't know where their faith lies, right?
Right, right.
Whereas like family, you're gonna have different people that's gonna be spiritual versus non, right? So it's like, how do
It's
you
all
deal with
part of
that?
it.
So it's
Different folks.
exactly for different folks
Yeah,
for different
different
strokes.
strokes. True. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, how do you balance it?
And it's good to be mindful and understand that there are different perspectives, right? There are different classes of people you're going to meet, believers and non-believers. It could be your family. It could be outside the family. You could have an awesome boss, but they're not a believer.
Yes.
You're just going to meet so many different people. But when you are choosing somebody that works for you, I know like there's a scripture that always says, do not be unequally yoked with non-believers. It's not saying that cut people off. Like,
Right. Yeah.
don't be cordial to people. It's just basically saying, know what feeds you, like internally, right?
Yes.
So let me not run on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do you balance being friends with believers and non-believers? Because relationships are a bit tricky.
Yeah. So they might say things that's like, oh my God, do I really like continue on talking to them, or like how do I deal with that person?
Right.
Versus with your friends, you could be a little bit more freely, and you guys can talk, and you guys could come to a good understanding of the common denominator, which is God, right? Whereas, so I just think it's just being yourself, regardless of where you
Regardless,
find
yeah.
yourself. Like, still be you. If you're someone who's God fearing, still be stern and firm and show what, the light that God gave you to continue and carry on. And if the other person is not showing that to you, that's on them. Still be you.
And that's okay, because you're going to meet people who accept your faith, and then you meet people who will not accept your faith. You don't have to change who you are just because they don't agree with your belief systems. But it doesn't mean you have to be cruel and mean to people. Be kind, be loving, because the God we serve is loving. He has good fruits, So pick people in your life that you can walk together, you can help each other be disciplined, help to grow. But in your course of life, you will meet some people that are not believers. It doesn't mean they're bad people. They just have different belief systems. But it's nice if you can share who you are, your faith with them, and they share with you, and then you will see, where you stand.
That's true.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we are called to be a blessing to each other.
Exactly.
Right? So I think that would wrap it up in terms of relationships. I don't know if you have any question for me, or anything you would kind of want to reiterate. Yeah.
I mean, a big thing is definitely respecting, regardless of, your personal
Race
views
or-
and race, ethnicity, and everything. I work at a school where it's different types, where I work with Jewish people.
Different people.
Yeah, I work with all types. So you just have to
Yeah.
be very conscious, too, of what you're saying and how you're saying it, too. Because you might
Offend somebody.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful to know and the work dynamic, how to deal with certain people that you come across.
And also understand like the principles that govern the world and how things are. As much as you believe in God and you have this faith relationship with Him, let your actions do the talking. Yeah, you can say you believe in God, but then you're treating people horribly. So respect is big. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so with you on that.
Yeah.
I hope you learned a lot
Yeah.
from this conversation.
Yeah.
So until we meet again, we will see you and bring more interesting topics. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks.